Welcome. Hopefully you can hear me, and I can't see any chats here. This has been an absolute disaster. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I'll just turn this around. Orientation's lot. Right. Okay. All right. Is anyone watching this? Maybe there is. Maybe it's just me sitting here by myself. Let us know. Oh, I'm getting him. Oh, I can hear. Beautiful. Beautiful. You fucking beauty. You beauty. Fucking laptop wasn't working. Now I'm just using my phone now, guys. So thanks for joining us. Look at them all coming in now. Stevie, gotcha. Gotcha. Everyone's here. Beautiful. G'day, Michael. Great to be here, guys. Very, very exciting. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Thanks, Tim. 3 minutes before the teams are announced. They're dropped. They're dropped like a hot potato. And we already know that Mark Pitnet will play. I thought he would. I mentioned in my preview that I thought he would play. Not that I totally agree with it, but he's in. You can sort of understand it. And Akers has obviously had a fitness test as well, so he will play. And that's a big in. And according to Voss, he's ready to go. He's cherry ripe. He trained really well, and he's a really important player, particularly against the Swans, who have some quality wingmen. McInerney should be back in for them. They'll get, looks like they'll get Papley back in as well. So we'll go through both teams, guys. I can't hang around that long tonight. I've got some other commitments, but in around about 2 or 3 minutes' time, we should see the teams. I was doing some numbers today and just looking at the amount of times that Pitnet jump in at any time as well, even though I am getting the chats come up here on my phone, but they're disappearing pretty quickly. So if I can't respond to you, I do apologise. But I just wanted to sort of count how many times the big four have played together, and I'm talking about TDK, Pitnet, Charlie and Harry. They've only played together 7 times this year, 5 wins and 2 losses. The 2 losses, ironically, one of those was against Sydney, and the other loss was against, I think it may have been Adelaide, where the 4 of them played. And it's been a little bit, I suppose the thinking from my end is why they're so keen to play both, is that patch of games, Collingwood, St Kilda and Melbourne, those 3 games in a row where TDK and Pitt went side by side and played really well together in those 3 big wins. And I think that's what they're looking at, that patch of games. Although Harry didn't play in any of those games, either did Jack Silvani, mind you. So what does it look like when we have TDK, Harry and Charlie all in the same forward line together? That's my only concern with that. Anyway, tell us what you think. Any other changes? Who's going to be the unlucky players? Because there's going to be a few, given that Doherty's back in, Cripps is back in, Motlop will come back in. That will mean that Durden will go out. Is it Hollins? Is it Marchbank? Is it Cunningham? Is it Chincotta? Does Fisher survive? It is fascinating. It really is. And I'm just noticing here at the moment the rain's coming down. So hopefully that holds off tomorrow. Anyway, the team should be just about in, guys. So I'll just check the... there we go. It's just come up. Who's in for the elimination final? Let's go through it. And let's have a look at my reaction. All right. Okay, let's... Fuck me dead. Paddy Dow out. Fucking hell. Motlop emergency, Fisher emergency, Ollie Hollins emergency. That is a real surprise. I'm actually a little bit blown away with that. Jesus. Let's go through the team anyway, because Fogarty's in there, Owies is in there. I was 100% sure that Motlop will play, and I also thought Fisher would. Chincotta survives. All right, let's go through it. Tell us what you think. He's surprised. Kemp, Wiedering, Newman all picked themselves. Chincotta, McGovern, Sard. Akers, good. Cripps, good. Doherty, Martin, Harry, Cunningham survives. Fogarty, Charlie, Owies, Pitnet, Chera, Sam Walsh, Interchange, Cottrell, TDK, Hewitt and Marchbank. And I was, in my preview, a little bit worried about Sydney's front half, even though they don't have any brutes. They've got quite a few tools, and whether we do have the players who are good enough to defend. McGovern and Kemp are quite competent at intercepting, but not necessarily locking down and defending. Whether one of those are going to have to play that role, not quite sure. Maybe that's the reasoning why Marchbank's playing. But I'm really surprised. I'm surprised that Motlop's not in. And I think we lose a little bit of drive without Fisher as well. I just think Chincotta's been down on a little bit of form, but he'll obviously get a role. He'll get a role. What do you think, guys, with that team? And it's a strong team on paper. Fogarty, hard-working pressure forward. Does he hit the scoreboard enough? It looks like we've got enough, I suppose, genuine goal kickers with Harry, Charlie. Owies can hit the scoreboard. Cunningham's not a big goal kicker. And Motlop's the one that can ignite. And I think in the second half of the season, Motlop is the one who's really shown some incredible forward half pressure. So, yeah, I'm somewhat surprised with that, but not disappointed. I think Dow will probably be the sub. Is that what you guys are thinking? A couple unlucky to miss out, definitely. And Voss mentioned it in his press conference today that this is a type of year and situation where you're nearly at full health, that there's going to be some disappointing players. So out, Paddy Dow, Corey Durden, Zach Fisher, Ollie Hollins, in Patrick Cripps, Sam Doherty and Mark Pitnet. Durden obviously was going to go out, but I thought that would have been replaced with potentially Motlop. You can't fit them all in. They all have to perform now, don't they? Let's have a look if we can get Sydney's team up. All right, let's have a look at their changes because. All right, so they brought McInerney. Malikan, yeah, that's an interesting one. Malikan comes in. I thought they would do that. Both him and Francis actually play really well on Harry, TDK, and Charlie the first time we played them at the SCG. Both him and Francis. They didn't have McInerney. So Malikan comes in. Patley and McInerney out. Francis. Dylan Stevens, the left footer, omitted. Ryan Clark, the who were they nominated, mate? Who were they nominated as a sub? That's Paul Garfield. Who were they nominated as a sub? Because I haven't got that yet. If you can help us out there, buddy. I'm not quite sure. I'm not across that. But have Sydney nominated a sub out of Francis, Ryan Clark, Robbie Fox as an emergency, Dylan Stevens. Francis is a sub. Is that correct, is it? Aaron Francis is a sub. Wow. That is a surprise. Both of those guys played against us last time and played really well. So they're going with a tall as their sub, and they've decided to not play Ryan Clark, who can play a lockdown role. Robbie Fox was exceptional in that grand final last year for the Sydney Swans. He was probably one player that could hold his head high, played on Jeremy Cameron and performed okay. And Dylan Stevens is up and down. He's a nice left footer. So let's have a look at their team. Down back, Melican, McCartan, Rampy, so a bit more height down there. So they're worried, obviously, with their height. So Lloyd, Blakey, Oliver, there's some fucking run there. There's some run. And I think that's probably the thinking with playing Fogarty. And a little bit more sort of accountable forwards who are prepared to work really hard. And you could probably throw Cunningham into the mix as well, who's played roles on rebounding defenders. So could Cunningham make Lloyd accountable? You know, does Fogarty play that type of role where he's really making these guys accountable and really putting, you know, that sort of forward half pressure on? That's probably the reasoning why Fogarty's a bit more reliable with that. Goulden centre on a wing, gun, absolute gun, can go into the midfield. Warner, Mills. I don't think Mills will start on a wing, but that's a pretty bloody solid centre line. Papley, McLean. So they go with McLean and Tom Hickey. So you sort of understand, I think, given Pitnet and TDK can rotate, Pitnet goes in early, bash and crash, Hickey, and then let a fresh TDK go in there and get on top of, say, a McLean. I sort of don't mind that at all. Wicks on a half-forward flank. These are the players that really worry me, okay, are Hayward, who's starting on the bench, and Isaac Heaney. They're the two that really worry me, particularly if it's wet. I like Armady at centre-half forward. McDonald can play. And that midfield looks okay. Hickey struggling a little bit. Rowbottom and Parker. Yeah. Cunningham, the veteran. Braden Campbell, left footer. And Justin McInerney, I reckon he'll start on a wing. And someone's saying that Aaron Francis is the sub. Who do you reckon, guys? Give me your pick for our sub. Who do you think it may be? Are we going with Dow? Or could it be a Hollands? Could it be Hollands? You know, is there uncertainty with Akers' shoulder? Do we have enough coverage on a wing? So someone's saying, Albert's saying that Motlop he thinks has already been named as a sub by Voss, okay, or that's the inkling at the moment. But I think all of those guys probably have, I think they all have claims for having a spot. Even Fisher. I mean, even Fisher would be confident in coming on and playing a role, whether it's down back. He's probably got the most flexibility out of any of those players, really. He can go forward, he can play back, he can go into the midfield. So maybe he's the one. Yeah, correct. If it gets wet, Pito might come out. I don't think so. I don't think the weather will. I don't think this team will change based on weather. I think that's the team they'll go in with. So Motlop. Thanks, Paul. Motlop is the sub on the website. So there you go. Yeah, interesting one. What sort of flexibility does Motlop give you as a sub, other than the fact that he can just play forward? I mean, he's a fucking good little forward, and he can give you a spark. Anyway, a sub's a sub, isn't it? And you're hopefully with those, you're not wanting to bring them on too early in the game. So anyway, I think, tell me what you think about the team. Is there anything in there that's, I don't know, to me, I don't know. To me, it looks a very, very strong team on paper, but it looks a little bit conservative. It looks a little bit conservative and a little bit safe. So, yeah, they've gone safe, really safe, I reckon. They've gone tough and hard and safe, which we are, and left out a few blokes like Dow, who is very, very unlucky. Holland's young. I can't wait. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait for tomorrow night to see how we start. I really can't. With this side in, I want to see us just hit this fucking Sydney team really hard, because the likes of Luke Parker, Mills will come after us. We just know that. They will come after us, and we need to fight fire with fire, and I just can't wait for the first 5 to 10 minutes of this game to see what this team of ours has got in us. I think we've got plenty in us. I think we're ready to go. I think we're going to breathe fire. I'm just wrapped. I'm wrapped. We've got that midfield brigade back, other than not having Kennedy. I don't think you can fit Kennedy in. But I love seeing Welsh, Chera with games under their belt. Cripps back in. Hopefully he's okay. That rib's okay. I reckon Sydney will maybe target that. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you target Patrick Cripps' midriff in this game if they sense that he's favouring it? But we've also got Georgie Hewitt in there as well, which is a really, really strong midfield. And they've got some protection with a little bit of a banged up Mark Pitnet, but so's the big fella from Sydney, Tom Hickey. He's just about fucking rooted, guys. So he's going to be a ripper. It's going to be a ripper. Looking forward to being there. Stavro, Sydney get up, Carlton will crumble and disappoint again. Well, I don't know about disappointing again, mate, because we haven't been there for such a long time. If you're referring to disappointing throughout the home and away season, you may be a bit correct. But this is a new horizon, a new beginning for us. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to be disappointing us again. I think any team in this final series, given it's so close, there's going to be disappointment when you fall out. There can only be one winner from these 8 teams, and the rest at some stage are going to be disappointed. I just don't want our disappointment to come tomorrow night. I want to go into the second week of the finals because I think we thoroughly deserve it, but it's not guaranteed. I think I want to have the opportunity to face either Melbourne or Collingwood. Just quickly before I go, guys. We're all obviously Carlton supporters. Most of us on here are predicting a Carlton win. So who do you think, given that, who do you think will be playing next? Probably Friday night. Yeah, I agree, Tim. Our best is better than Sydney's. By far. I agree. So who do you think will be playing next week? Not who you want us to play, but who do you think we will be playing next week if we get over Sydney? Carlton v Collingwood, Austin, next week. Oh, Jesus Christ. Imagine that. That'd be absolutely incredible. Tim says Collingwood. Albert, Melbourne. I think we can beat. We should be thinking about tomorrow night, but I think I'd be confident to beat both of those teams next week. Pies, Melbourne. Bit of a split here. Hope we play Collingwood. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Would love to knock them out in straight sets. Thanks, Lone Wolf. Paul says Pies. Grant, Melbourne. Thanks for joining us. This is fantastic. 33 people watching this at the moment, which is not bad considering I've never done a live stream before, and I completely fucked up the first one because my volume wasn't working on my laptop. But anyway, maybe I'll do a few more of these, hopefully next week. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. What I'll do, I'll see you guys again for a review of this game, of tomorrow night's game on Sunday. Hopefully, Melbourne is another slog. Yep. On your mate, go Blues. Thanks, Austin. Lols, Tim. Thanks, Simon. Your good value. Thanks, Half said tradie. Good value. Well done, mate. Yeah, I'll do a review of our elimination final game on Sunday, and I'll also do a vlog tomorrow night as well because I'll be there. Actually, let us know where you're sitting tomorrow. If you're going to be at the game tomorrow, where are you going to be? Where are you sitting? I'm actually level 4. But really close to not too close. We're actually row B, level 4, Bay. My mum actually gave me the Bay number, 40 something, I think. Sort of Punt Road end. next to the cheer squad. Yeah. So if I see you guys, if you notice me, come up and say hello. Yeah. Watching from the My Blue Heaven cave. Yeah. Come up and say hello, and I'll do a vlog tomorrow night, and I'll get that up on Sunday, win, lose or draw. So I'll see you then, guys. Catch ya. Yeah, I'm fucking nervous too, Bon. See you, bud.